Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Studio Time with Ryos. Listen, guys, I've been heavily inspired by the stuff that Swedish House Mafia is putting out, and today we're going to try to make something loosely inspired by what they're doing. Let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlefish, well, we are in FL Studio, and today, particularly what I'm inspired by are those gated atmospheric pads or vocal chops that have been in not only Swedish House Mafia stuff, but a lot of stuff. And my idea was to maybe make something like that, but in a prog environment, or maybe like more energetic with like super saws. I don't really know. We're just going to see where it takes us, but that is my direction. Now, I did go on Splice, and I found this vocal right here. This vocal is very, very nice. Take a listen to this.
I know it's late, can't get you out of my brain.
Oh, I didn't expect that to happen.
It's late, can't get you out of my brain. So I'm wide awake, didn't want to sleep anyway.
Yo, how good is that vocal? So, first of all, my bad. I plugged in my keyboard. Didn't expect it to stop, but here we are. But I feel like this is perfect for that euphoric vibe that I'm kind of picturing in my head for today. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I do want to pitch it up, because although G minor is one of my favorite keys, G sharp minor is just a little bit more emotional, and that has been my favorite key for a very long time. I'm assuming this is going to sound magical, but let's take a listen.
I know it's late,
Perfect.
can't get you out of my brain.
Super vibey. Now, I think the first thing that I want to do, I guess we can make a bass line for the break, because whatever bass line I make right now for the vocal will probably be the bass line that I use for the drop. So let's go classic Grease, and I have one idea in my head. I want to use the Kung Fu bass, which I've used plenty of times. If you guys have been tuned in for a bit now, you've heard this one. Very classic sounding. I'm sure a lot of people use this bass. It's actually one of the factory presets inspired, but that's besides the point. Super standard, really sick, but what I want to try is I want to use a stereo send that I often use for my respaces. It's basically a flanger and distortion, a bunch of other craziness, but I've never used that processing with this particular bass sound, so I am curious to see what that would sound like. All right, let's send this bass to the send. Super sick. I mean, it kind of sounds like how it normally does with my other respace sounds, but, you know, I use the send all the time, so we should try to use it. Why not? G sharp minor. Okay, let's think of a emotional bass line. And the BPM. Should I go to 145? That's so fast. Maybe we'll do 140.
I know it's late, can't get you out of my brain.
Ooh.
I know it's late, can't get you out of my brain. So I'm wide awake, didn't want to sleep, didn't want to sleep anyway, didn't want to sleep anyway.
I kind of want to try to move this last piece of the vocal.
I'm wide awake, didn't want to sleep anyway.
I think moving that might be the move. And the bass line, I don't know what it should be yet, but
Didn't want to sleep anyway.
all right, so we're off to a hot start. The vocal and the respace sound great. And now that I have a bass line in place, I can go ahead and start to do what I've been looking forward to doing, which is making that gated vocal chop. I want to make something really vibey and cool, and I don't think I want to use this vocal for that. I think I want to use something completely different. So we're going to go ahead and experiment with a few different things here. First, I want to try, in the new Patreon pack I just dropped, this Atmos bed. I really like this one. Now, if I pitched it down to G sharp, right, 3 semitones. Just want to see what happens if I add a transgate to it. Nope, that's a tape stop. So this is kind of the vibe that I'm going for. So now it's becoming more obvious. I need to use something that has a melody in it, and then I'll probably chop it up on the grid here. I love the way that starts. Does it change, though? Oh, it does, actually. So this might be a good option. So let's add that transcape back to it. It's so sick. Let's pitch it up to G sharp as well. And now I want to make a melody out of this. So let's go and find different notes that we can use. Okay, so as a starting point, I think this chop sounds really awesome. It does need to be sauced up though, and it needs to be a bit more interesting. So here's what I'm going to try first. I want to add a instance of, what is it called again? Crystallizer. I want to add an instance of Crystallizer. Well, this is kind of acting like a small room reverb, and it sounds sick. It's not quite what I'm looking for, but I think I'm going to keep it. I'm looking to add those kind of like crystals that this plugin is popular for. So let me try and do that. Maybe I'll go under this category. Yo, this one's a little crazy, but I love what it's doing, especially right here. So maybe I can like automate it so that it only turns on when I need it to, perhaps. Actually, just for the last two bars, I feel like that'd be dope. Let me also realign this. Oh my goodness. All right, I love that. Let's sauce it up even more. Now I want to make it really bright and in your face. Let's use Novelty character to start. All right, sick. I want to go ahead and double down. Let's add supercharger as well. Now we need a vibey delay to top it all off. Come on. Also curious to add one more reverb here. Maybe just a little crunch. Just a little. The distortion, whoa. The distortion adds a nice little like trumpet quality. I'm trying to get that, but still keep the highs clean. Dude, I think this is vibey enough for now. Let's rock with this. Here's how I want to test out this vocal chop with everything. We're going to let the vocal play out. We're going to put the vocal chop here. And we're going to just listen and see if the vibe is right. Hopefully it is.
I know it's late. Can't get you out of my brain. So I'm wide awake. Didn't want to sleep anyway.
Yo, so this is it. I will say, because the vocal chop is a bit faster in terms of like the melody when it changes notes, I want the Ryos to reflect that. So maybe we'll like just add another note somewhere. Maybe like F sharp, I don't know. Oh, but we go up, so maybe we'll go to B. I'm messing around with a different Ryos bass line to complement the vocal chop, and as I'm doing that, I'm hearing new vocal chop melody ideas. So one idea I'm hearing is to add a little bit of spacing in between the melody. So particularly right here, I love when it hits C sharp and then the new crystallizer comes in, because then it just gets like crazy and funky. So I'm wondering if we just repeat this and then maybe add a space to break it up. Like something like that. Maybe a little more vocal chop. I'm gonna record this. I'm recording this. Okay. Dude, while I'm doing this, I'm thinking to myself, what can I do to fill this up? And then I hear all these echoes and I'm like, wait a second. What if we reverse this and then use this to fill the gap? Would that be cool? I'll make this into a reverse. I can normalize it and then just add like a sweep. And then here I go here, and then I go here, right? Say right. Yo, that is money. I am curious if I turn off the automation when the reverse comes in, if it sounds cleaner. Let me see. This is fantastic. I'm loving this. We're gonna go here. I like that it was crazier with the automation on, but I think keeping it off is probably the more responsible thing to do. I shouldn't go crazy with my reverbs. There's so many ways that I could proceed. For me, I was trying to envision today if I took this style and influence and then turned it into progressive. Now, 140 is obviously very fast for progressive, so I'm thinking I'll still do a house beat, but maybe I'll go for more aggressive basses and layer a super saw with the vocal chop to give it that like kind of classic Ryos flair. But in all seriousness, let's go ahead. Let's open up an instance of Nexus so we can get a nice super saw going. And then I'm going to try to recreate that vocal chop melody in MIDI. Okay, let's use this sound. I'm going to add a transgate to this one too. All right, now I'm going to try to remake the melody quickly. And I'm going to make my life easier. I'm going to use a tuner. So B. D sharp, G sharp. What's this last one? A sharp. All right, so. Sweet, okay. That was pretty easy. I'm gonna go ahead and let me replace this super saw, because this one's like plain Jane. I'm gonna just use one that is a classic one that I've used plenty of times in the past that is tried and true. Let's get that in there. Okay, so here's a lead that I use a lot. Call it the arena lead, and then we're gonna take a transgate And then we're going to take that trance gate so we can give it the same rhythm. And let's reduce the mix so we get the reverb coming through. Or just put the reverb after. See what that sounds like. All right, I love that. Now I'm curious to try adding an aggressive lead, a more ravey kind of lead, and just see what that sounds like. All right, this is exactly what I wanted, because now this is adding a lot of brightness to the entire kind of vocal chop section, making it really aggressive, and I think this makes it a bit more suitable to be a drop lead, you know, these three layers together. Sick. So now, dude, now the world is our oyster. What do we do? I think the first thing that I want to try... First of all, that delay is driving me crazy. The first thing that I want to try is getting some drums going. I want to add a house beat, and then maybe try adding a progressive house bass. Perhaps. Let's see how that fares for us. I like that kick for now. Let's go ahead. This might work, because this might give me my noise ride that will make it feel more like prog house. Let's see. Kind of like this kick better. We're going to use this kick for now. And I'm getting distracted. We need a hi-hat. I need a certain clap that I put in the Patreon pack. And of course, I don't remember what I called it. I think it was Dark Clap. Oh, yeah. Dark Clap 2.0. Clap is getting a little weird because I time stretched it, so I'm just going to steal the first half. Copy, copy, copy. And then I want to add maybe a sidechain on this like little ride thing going. Yeah, make it feel a little bit more bouncy in this context. And then I need something to play 16th notes. So there's a few good candidates I have. Let's first try just a very simple hat. And then I think for this guy, I'll probably add some kind of bounce to it through sidechain. But let's first just see what this guy sounds like. Actually, maybe no sidechain. Tambourine, how would that sound? I think I like the tambourine better. And then maybe some kind of... Actually, I don't want to go crazy with the drums until I know how everything else sounds. So let's just simply put some sidechain on the drop lead group. And same with the respace. I guess I'm going to use the respace in the drop? I don't know. I didn't plan on this, but let's see. Okay. Well, that sounds a lot better than I expected. Awesome. Okay. The bass needs to be far more bouncy. So maybe we'll just make the sidechain more extreme. I need a double kick right here. I need it so bad. I would be curious to try a different kick too. Let's try something that's a little bit more muted, less clicky. I like that idea, but maybe a different kick. Let's see. This one I've been using a lot. Okay, I love the Oasis kick. Let's see if we could do something cool with the bass. So I really didn't expect the Respace to sound so good. So maybe we will wind up using that. I kind of envision it to be a little dirtier and maybe have more slides, so perhaps some pitch bends. I am thinking about my song Novocaine. In that song with the bass, I did a lot of pitch bending, and I did it with a Respace, and I just love the way that sounds. So I'm thinking if I do that now, it would just sound awesome. Let me just use the Novocaine bass, since that's the vibe that I'm going for.
Anyway,
I think we should make it a little less dirty. Let's filter out the top. And then I want to go ahead and add those same pitch bends to the Respace that we've been using. All right, so now I am automating the sidechain on the main Respace so that it's off during the break, and then it turns on for the drop. And I'm also thinking about adding some more sounds here. So particularly, I'm thinking about adding a big brass stab to kind of go along and hit on all the notes. I think that would be really nice. Let me see if I could pull up the Emotions brass stab, because that one had a bunch of low mids to it that I think would sound a lot better. The song had a lot of cool elements to it, so I'm pulling up a few other ones that I remember being dope. Let's see. Sick. Sick. I think we can probably use all these elements as like extra synth stuff for the drop. Spice it up more. So let's go and add a tuner to this. E sharp or E, F sharp, G sharp. So we'll steal this and put this here. And then for the bass line, what do we got? We got a G sharp and an F. And I'm gonna do some magic here, some duplicating. Okay, let's see what it sounds like. Love this, man. Now, I am curious to try these other elements as well, specifically this guy. Like maybe even right before the drop. I definitely don't like it in the beginning of the drop, but maybe like towards the end or something. Yeah, there we go. That sounded cool. Does the whale have a place in the drop too? Oh my god. Love these additions, dude. Maybe we can do some more interesting drum stuff now. particularly in the percussion department and like fill department. The first idea I have for the drums is adding some kind of clap fill or something right here. So the easiest thing to do in something that's very housey is to add a kind of offbeat clap. For example, if we were to just take this one, it would sound like... That doesn't sound bad by any means. I do want to try, because I am inspired by like my usual progressive house stuff, I want to try using a clap fill. I don't know if that would sound ridiculous here or if that would sound really cool. So we're going to find out together. So the size clap actually sounds really good. I did take the clap part and then place it in that like housey offbeat section that I showed earlier with the clap. And it sounds really good. It sounds like a nice fusion between like a classic house beat and then also like, you know, prog house. So I gotta be honest, I'm really happy with this right now. I'm not even gonna mess around with more drum work. I'm just not. I'm really thinking if there's any like popular song that I can remix and throw a vocal on top. I don't know. I might have to take a pause and look because I'm so curious to try. So some time has passed. I basically tried to look for a pop vocal that I can use to kind of make a remix or mashup, whatever. Couldn't really find anything. I tried something out, didn't work out. And then I was also messing around with like a different acapella that I had laying around. Didn't work out either. So I'm just going to try to save some time, cut all of that out. I am going to try to use the original vocal that I started the project with. I just want to try to figure out this ending, and then we'll kind of wrap up this idea. So my thing is, it's coming in too early, and it definitely is. I think it should hit right here.
I know it's late, can't get you out of my brain, so I'm wide awake, didn't want to sleep anyway. I'm
going to try to automate a delay in this gap right here, and I think that might help me kind of see a clearer picture. Let's see.
Didn't wanna sleep anyway. Didn't wanna sleep anyway.
I think what I'm gonna do along with the delay is automate either supermassive or RAM. I want a bright reverb to kind of fill this gap.
I'm wide awake. Didn't wanna sleep anyway.
And then another thing that I want to do is kind of process this vocal more. I want to make it more powerful, brighter, bigger, faster, stronger, word to Kanye. And we're going to use Vocal Shine for that.
I'm wide awake. Didn't want to sleep anyway.
What if I go like this, sustain this? Right here would make for a good pre-drop section. I can take out this part. I can take out this, maybe this. See what this sounds like. That might be the solution, folks. That sounds awesome. Now we need that sweep I was talking about. Definitely think something needs to happen here, like a downlifter, a cymbal, something like that. Let's go the route that I normally would and use like a kind of big downlifter. Let's see if that would sound any good here. So we'll do this and maybe combine this with a simple white noise or like a crash. Or an impact. In order to wrap up this idea for break, build, drop, I do want to kind of figure out this section a bit more, particularly in the synths department. And this one's kind of in the back of my head. I want to try this one. This one has some nice movement baked into the sample, so... Now, another thing that we could do for this drop vocal is we can mess it up more just for the drop. I like to add sidechain to my drop vocals, and I think because this is a really bouncy kind of idea, I will leave it on 100% instead of trying to make it sound transparent. I actually want that pumpy feeling. And then I want to mess around with adding like a distortion of some kind to make it sound purposely mangled. I do want to experiment with a different atmosphere bed. I'm thinking something a little bit more with like a synthy tone instead of a vocal tone. So I'm just going to try a few out and see what they sound like.
I know it's late. Can't get you out of my brain, so I'm wide awake. Didn't wanna sleep anyway.
I think the only thing that I would consider doing is adding some kind of ear candy to the break here.
I know it's late. Can't get.
That could be cool.
Know it's late. Can't get you out of my brain.
All right, guys, we wrapping up now. Let's take a listen from the top and let's see what I came up with.
I know it's late. Can't get you out of my brain, so I'm wide awake. Didn't wanna sleep anyway. I know it's late. Can't get you out of my brain, so I'm wide awake. Didn't wanna sleep anyway.
Oh man, yo, this is what the studio's about. I'm having the time of my life. Yo, wow. All right, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. All right, this was so much fun to make. I'm really vibing with this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. Alrighty, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time I upload. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my Patreon. Got a bunch of goodies there, sample packs, exclusive music previews, lessons, feedback, much more. Link for that will be down below in the description. So that'll be all for me today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.